Toyota's youth-oriented brand is trying to get back its mojo with a couple of brand new models making their debut. First up is the brand's first ever sedan, the IA. It's a subcompact budget-priced car that will compete against the Nissan Versa, Chevrolet Sonic, and eventually the Mazda 2, among others. In fact, speaking of Mazda, the Scion IA is really nothing more than a Mazda 2 sedan with a different front-end design. The pointy nose and large grille are about the only parts of the IA that are unique to Scion, and that's not a bad thing, as Mazda's on a roll these days with its own stylish line of cars, and that design language can still be found in the swooping lines of the door panels and taillights at the rear. The same is true on the inside, where virtually nothing has changed in the transition from Mazda to Scion. That means the same upscale dashboard design featuring a standard 7-inch multimedia system, chrome accents, and tilt telescoping steering wheel. Materials more or less match the budget pricing of the car, but the cabin is fairly roomy and there are lots of features. Along with a 7-inch screen, you can get keyless entry with push-button start, and a rear-view camera is standard. However, the most interesting option is the low-speed pre-collision safety system, which uses lasers and cameras to help drivers avoid accidents or minimize the severity of one. This is one of the first inexpensive cars to have such a system. Under the hood is a direct-injection 1.5-liter four-cylinder producing 106 horsepower and 103 pound-feet of torque. With those numbers, we shouldn't expect the IA to be a performance car, but at least fuel economy is stellar. When mated to a 6-speed automatic, buyers can expect 33 miles to the gallon in the city and 42 on the highway, for a combined 37 mpg. Luckily, a 6-speed manual will be on offer as well, with only a slight penalty in fuel economy. The standard 16-inch alloy wheels are small by today's standards, but considering the Mazda chassis and relatively low curb weight, an IA with a manual transmission could be fun when roads get twisty. And there's nothing quite as good as cheap fun. Scion is estimating a starting price of around $16,000 when the IA hits dealerships in the fall of 2015, but remember, the Scion brand has a no-hassle pricing policy. That means little to no negotiating. The price you see is what you pay. With the amount of standard and available options, the IA could prove to be a real bargain. We'll let you know what we think as soon as we get our chance behind the wheel. In the meantime, if you're looking for something a little larger and with more cargo space, the new IM wagon also debuted. We got a preview of this new model last fall with the IM concept car, and aside from a lack of a body kit and special wheels, the production version doesn't look too different. The IM is based on a Toyota model that isn't sold in the US called either the Auris or simply Corolla, and that's basically what it is, a Toyota Corolla wagon. You may recall the Toyota Matrix and Pontiac vibe. Well, here's the replacement. Actually, for a brand that's supposed to be aimed at young people, the styling is generic Toyota. In fact, it's pretty plain in general. The side could easily be mistaken for a last-generation Mazda 3, and the taillights look like they were ripped off an Elantra GT. LED lights front and rear brighten things up a little bit, along with available bold colors such as this electric storm blue and spring green metallic. On the inside, the dashboard is lifted directly from the Toyota Corolla sedan. Not that it's a bad thing, but it's also not very exciting. A standard Pioneer brand 6-speaker stereo system is controlled through a standard 7-inch touchscreen unit that includes HD radio and also the standard rear-view camera display. A leather-wrapped steering wheel, dual-zone climate control, and power-folding heated mirrors are some of the other standard features. Under the hood lies the potential for the IM's biggest shortcoming, a 1.8-liter four-cylinder cranking out only 138 horsepower. For similar money, a Hyundai Elantra GT will give you 173 horsepower, while a Mazda 3 will provide up to 184. The Scion's engine comes mated to either a 6-speed manual or CVT with simulated shift points to give you the feeling of a 7-speed automatic. Highway fuel economy is estimated at 37 miles per gallon. Putting everything into perspective is the starting price of around $20,000 US, which is higher than the starting prices of some competitors, but with the Scion, the value is in terms of standard equipment. The new IM will be in dealerships by fall of this year. Stay tuned to GlobeCarReviews for driving impressions of both these new models, along with continued coverage of the 2015 New York International Auto Show.